The UN Security Council will meet today to discuss the worsening situation in Indian-occupied Kashmir. The council has been convened at China's request for the first time since a similar gathering in August. The meeting is being held after Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi wrote to the Security Council about potential escalation in tensions. In a note to UNSC, China said the request is made due to seriousness of the situation in the region. It said Beijing will like to echo the request of Pakistan and seek a briefing of the Council on the situation of Kashmir. In August, India annexed the decades-old special status of Kashmir with an amendment in the constitution. The New Delhi's curfew and communications blackout in the valley have entered 135th day. For more on this, we are joined by Mr. Salman Bashir, a former Foreign Secretary and High Commissioner of Pakistan in India. Thank you for your time. Now, Mr. Bashir, China has approached the UNSC once again to discuss the worsening situation in Indian-occupied Kashmir. Firstly, tell us what is the importance of today's session?
Well, my understanding is that, of course, the Kashmir issue has been on the agenda. There was, as you know, a consultative meeting of the Council some time ago. The situation has not improved, actually worsened. I think what is really the purpose for this meeting, which we hope will take place, although I understand there are still consultations going on in this respect. But the key thing is the situation on the line of control, which has been violated time and again by the Indians. In recent days, it has, there's an added ominous dimension because the Indian army posture on the line of control is now alarming. It is offensive. And the Foreign Minister of Pakistan has written to the UN Secretary General and the Security Council that there is real apprehension that the Indians may be up to some sort of misadventure across the LOC. So what is being sought is a proper briefing by the UN Military Observers Group of India and Pakistan to the Council. It is important to sort of stem this thing before it erupts in a manner that becomes uncontainable. And I think that is what the consultations in New York are about currently.
Now, Mr. Bashir, you mentioned that the situation in Kashmir, Indian-occupied Kashmir, hasn't improved. Do you think today's session can help raise the pro-Kashmir argument at international level and pressurize India to resolve the outstanding issue?
Well, that is certainly the hope of Pakistan. It is certainly the hope of the Kashmiris. It is the hope of every right-minded person who has had faith in the UN Charter and the UN system. But we know from reality, the fact is that, of course, it adds, the profile is already there. I mean, the profile of the issue as far as the international community is concerned is very much there. But the effectiveness, I mean, the question is how effective can the Council be? It can only at this point in time, I think, exercise some sort of a moral influence to restrain Indians and to, the curfew, the lockdown in Kashmir is now plus 130 days, so it is just getting from bad to worse. So, of course, the international community, and especially the major powers who are permanent members of the Security Council, definitely have a duty and a responsibility to do something about it. But we see that these major powers, barring few, are still reluctant to exercise the influence that they have, and they have immense influence over the Indians.
Thank you, Mr. Salman Bashir, former Foreign Secretary and High Commissioner of Pakistan in India, for joining us and telling us that we'll see how the session goes in the day today.